Cologne is just a 4.5-hour train ride from Berlin.
So we made a visit one spring weekend in order to see the tulips that bloom in the area. But we also wanted to experience the city. It has a really nice old town and it has some really fun attractions. Come along and let me show you what we did.
So as I mentioned, it's quite easy to get to Cologne from Berlin. So after work one day, we took the fast train, the ICE, over to Cologne. It was a direct train and we were able to bring a few drinks on board. And then the train brought us right into the downtown. So we were able to stay in the downtown, which was really convenient. So we got in relatively late at night and we started our trip.
In order to visit the tulips outside the city center, we rented bikes at the train station, took them on the train, and then we biked around. So I'd looked up different areas in order to see the tulips and found two different ones. One had yellow and red and was quite a small field. The other one was massive fields and had lots of colors. Unfortunately, because of damage last year, you weren't allowed to actually go into the fields, which was really quite sad. But overall, it was a really beautiful day riding around the small towns, the hilly neighborhoods. Would highly recommend. And it was quite easy. The bike rental was only about $10 a day. While we were out on our bike ride, we found Castle Dike. While we were there, it was their spring festival, the Frühlingsfest, and there were vendors, activities, food. It was really fun. But we also got to visit the castle, which is gorgeous. The first floor is dedicated to life from the house, and the second floor is dedicated to new artworks. It was an interesting combination of the two different eras. Additionally, the grounds were really beautiful. They were very large. It was like a really nice, large, manicured park. We wandered around, we explored the festivities. It was about a €16 entrance fee, but I think it was worth it.
At Schloss Steak, having a snack. A little bit of pretzel. What have we done so far today, Jason?
We saw some flowers. We didn't break any rules. Going and seeing them. Biked around a bunch. We found this castle that everyone's having a party at for some reason. And then we found this beer. Good day.
Once we made it back into the city, we got some traditional food for dinner. Jason had a currywurst, and I had a schnitzel, as well as some Kolsch, which is the local beer. And then we rested up for our next day. Seeing as we were only here for 2 days, we really had to fit a lot into a small amount of time.
So for our second day in the area, we started out with a walk to get a coffee and breakfast, and then we headed to our first activity, which was the Botanical Gardens. We opted to walk from the city center about a half hour out to the Botanical Gardens. As we were there in spring, the grounds were in bloom. I could envision running through these gardens as they are open and have these really nice gravel paths throughout.
There is a new botanical dome coming, but unfortunately, still under construction. I'm very sad because I want to visit. This is gonna be gorgeous. I'm gonna have to come back and visit.
And we followed this all up with some more walking because who doesn't want to hang out outside in the nice spring weather? We found ourselves along the riverfront where you can see there was a cable car to take across the river. We opted to just walk because why not? We found tons more tulips throughout the city. They're in season, so it was a really beautiful time to visit. And we walked along the river to an observation tower. From here you could see the major landmarks. You could see the old town, the train station, and most of the city from here, including the cathedral. We didn't end up spending a lot of time there, but it is one of the really big draws of the town.
Since our train departed mid-afternoon, we stopped in the Old Town for a traditional meal. I had sauerbraten, which is a beef dish, and of course we also followed it up with a few Kolsches. So this prepped us for our train ride home. We grabbed another Kolsch for the train ride. You can see I had my flowers in my Kolsch to give me a good reminder of our weekend in Cologne. and Jason had schnitzel. And Jason had schnitzel.